Hey everyone, Joe here from ActionX. Welcome to a slate of the channel for October 2020, or basically just the rest of 2020. Sorry about that. It's been a while since I did one of these because I'll say this: summer really hit me hard. Not because of summer vacation, but because mostly of working. So I've been pretty busy. But I've been consistent. So anyway, this is kind of like your final update for 2020 in terms of us here as a channel before we move forward. So just before we get to the new announcements, I just need to give a couple of updates on something. So first of all, I hope you enjoyed our 10th anniversary channel trailer, which was basically the only piece of the 10th anniversary we've actually done this year because, so being transparent here, because we always are. So the reason why we didn't do any of the promise stuff, we had a whole big plan for the 10th anniversary pre-pandemic, and then when pandemic hit, I had to readjust the plan. I knew what I wanted to do in my head, but then the problem was my old computer, my old setup was not capable of doing majority of the things I had planned to do. So I had commissioned Alan, our one of our oldest members, to build me a new PC, a new computer. And the problem was, even though we had everything ready to go, the problem was building it. That took a while. That definitely took some time out of our initial planned schedule. And by the time we even got that thing finally built, it just was not feasible amount of time to record. We were going to do 4 podcasts with some old guests. We had some minor plans for more editing stuff to do. But however, because the power of my last computer was not sufficient to be able to keep up with everything I wanted to do, we had to push everything back. And by the time I got everything set up with the new computer, by the time everything was like starting to become familiar to me, like doing all the getting all the devices set back up, getting all the programs get back up to normal, get my new editing speed, my new editing setup under control, it took a while. So by the time that was all like set in stone, it was literally too late. I could not record. Now again, you assume like, oh, you're still under lockdown, you still can't do everything you want to do, so it shouldn't be that. Like all the people that I had planned to do guests with, they're all working. So planning that, as well as that they have their own lives. I don't want to uproot their lives for a podcast. So we're pushing that back to a later date. We'll announce more about that hopefully in the next slate of the channel in the near future. But until then, we couldn't do those episodes, as well as some of the other stuff I had in mind. Literally, same thing. Editing programs take time to reinstall, to take things to like get things back to normal. As well as I'm working, so I don't have the availability to be able to do everything I want to do. So with that being said, however, so the 10th anniversary trailer, hopefully it is up, and hopefully that is, I still think it's one of the best pieces of content I ever made. I put a lot of attention to that, and I love the music, so go check that out. It's probably our brand new video, like our premiere video, so go check that out if you have not. And so with that being said, let's get down to the other updates. So I think I've said this before in the last day of the channel. I don't think I've announced it unless I got to the what's in the tubes. Yeah, so we were not able to do History Told Drama on time. I'm still working on the script. It was just that I didn't publicly announce this was because I had partially the script ready to go. I was reading it and I was very much like, no, I'm going to start over. I'm going to start fresh because I was literally thinking like I'll pick up where my last script session was before everything happened. But as I was reading through it, and it could just be because of all the what's in the tubes I did. It could just be that, but I just looked at it. It's like, this is not where I want it to be, if you know what I mean. I wanted it to be more polished, more better, more my tone. I don't want to be a ripoff of anyone else. I want to set my own tone, my own flow of things, and that takes time. So I am still scripting on it. It will happen. I am not putting a date on it because it is subject to change. I am working slowly on the script, but because of every other thing I want to do, it does not receive that much attention. But believe me, it will happen. It's going to happen. At least Island, I will make sure that will happen before I die. And I'm saying that very literally and not literally. So you know what I mean. So that is still happening. It's not something that we forgot about. It's something that I'm still working on, and hopefully you'll enjoy. So with that being said, let's get down to the new stuff. Let's get to the big announcements. So, first of all, a lot of our content that we've been making for the past couple, like throughout this year, Let Joe Talk, Couch Gamers, the Zelda Let's Play, all that stuff. So, there were planned return dates for this year. we couldn't do them because of the pandemic reasons. I was unable to record with George because A, our safety, B, also now lately our time commitment still is a pain in the ass to go through. But mostly it's our safety. We don't want to risk each other getting COVID because George and I are not far from each other in terms of our locations, but it is very much of a hassle to get here. So we're pushing those off for another time. So there will not be any of those this year, as well as some of our stuff that we've been planning out for a while now, like the PodX cast, especially also Let You Talk. They're not returning anytime soon. I want those shows, when they come back, to be the strongest they can be. And that takes time. And you can't really do both the current content just to keep the content going, as well as to plan out new, at least for me, because again, this is still a hobby. But I want to make something out of it, but that still takes time. It takes time to do. I can't manage both of them. So I felt like at the end, it would be better if we postpone those return dates until whenever they're ready to go. And when they do come back, we'll have them more consistent and at the level of quality that I would like them to be. So with that being said, however, they will return in the future. I won't give a date, but they will return. I guarantee that. But however, because I do not want to return to the old style of how our channel was run, where we literally had no content until like DVD unboxings, which is kind of what we're doing right now because What's on the Tube was on a hiatus, which is why you heard me correct. That's why What's on the Tube is coming out of its hiatus. We are beginning our second season, our own like season 2, if you want to say that. We needed a break. I needed a break because, as I said in the last couple of What's on the Tubes I produced for the channel, I was very much tired out. I was getting burned out because here's the thing. I love Perry Mason. I love Stargirl. I love Doom Patrol season 2. I loved all those shows. The problem is just me consistently doing it. Just taking the time and energy. You need a break at some point. You need some mental break because as soon as Rookie was wrapped up, as soon as Nancy Drew was wrapped up, as soon as Katie Clean was wrapped up, I immediately jumped into those shows. I didn't take a break. Like I was planning on taking a little break, but I didn't. I just jumped straight into those shows. So I had to take a break here because, again, with COVID and everything got pushed back. So I wasn't able to, like, I was thinking maybe do a Lovecraft Country review series. I was thinking about doing The Boys. I was thinking about that, to be honest, but I knew in my heart that, like, I'm not going to be energetic on those reviews, and I would love to talk about those shows at some point in the future on What's on the Tube. I just didn't want to do them right now and half-ass them, if you know what I mean. Taking the break and taking some time to breathe and to get re-energized for the next review series we're about to do, which I'm about to announce in a second. But I need the break. I really need a break, as well as it gives me time to do something else, because we've been talking about a lot of new stuff on the What's on the Tube. Like, we talk about new episodes of The Rookie, new episodes of High School Musical, the musical, the series, new episodes of Katie Clean, new episodes of Perry Mason. We've done a lot of new stuff, but it was time to go back a little bit. It was time to go back to the past and kind of start talking about some stuff. So before I continue, we're doing a little bit of rebranding on What's on the Tube, so brace yourself. So a lot of the episode titles are going to get changed with our older stuff when this is getting uploaded. So we're now doing multiple sections of What's on the Tube. Don't worry, it's still going to be mainly outlined as What's on the Tube. That's not changing. That's not changing. However, with some of the reviews that we've done before, I was kind of only doing them because I wanted to talk about them, but I didn't know how to correctly title them, if you know what I mean. Like, when I did the Jane the Virgin series review, that I was talking about the whole show, but it wasn't really much of a review because I was only talking about it from a quick impression. It wasn't much like I rewatched it recently. I had watched season 5 the last year, but it's been a while. And I always talked about leaving the door open to doing a proper review series for that. And don't worry, the announcement is that we're not doing a Jane the Virgin review series. We're not doing that yet. But I knew in that heart, like, that wasn't ready. That was not to be the definitive series review by ActionX. That wasn't it. So those episodes, those reviews that we've done will be now retitles at Quick Impressions. So Quick Impressions is basically going to be, as I like to call it, it's going to be like small 15, 20, 25-minute videos, like kind of how we do our episode breakdowns. But they're going to be open to, like, potentially down the road, we could do a proper review series, either by episode, or more commonly season reviews, I want to leave the door open for that, because the OCD me in me is always going to say like, oh, technically you did a series review on it, so if you do it again, you're just really just doing it again. But I don't want, but it'll be better. So we're rebranding those episodes we did as quick impressions. So they're going to be now. So the Jane the Virgin one, for example, it'll go from series review to Jane the Virgin quick impressions. So the door will be open to potentially do a more solidified, more proper review series for that series, because it deserves it a lot. It's all about finding the right time and sometimes the right co-hosts, which that brings me to my real announcement. We are doing 2 new review series, our brand new every blank series, every blank season in reviewed. So we are reviewing. So this lineup will be basically. So we're taking a show that I have interest in, and most of the time my co-host will have interest in, because these will be co-hosted. Both of us will have an affinity for the series. I will always pick the right co-host for every series. It's not that I'm going to like overuse George, for example, for every single series we do, because we have a great rapport with each other, but I'm not going to make George watch a show that he has no interest in just because I need a co-host. I want to find the right co-host and the right person that really loves the content, the material we're working with, so that it shines through in the reviews. So, with that being said, we are doing every Arrow season review. So if you don't know what Arrow is, the CW show that basically started the whole CW Arrow shows, like The Flash, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow, Batwoman, Black Lightning, now Superman and Lois coming up. Arrow was the first. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. The microphone just dipped in. I'm sorry. Arrow was the first show, and now that Arrow has it wrapped its run last January, we are finally in the position to actually talk about the whole series, review it, and then just see where it holds up after the 8 years, as well as a whole universe that it spawned out of it, or now also multiverse. So, with that being said, we are doing every Arrow season review. That will be co-hosted by me and Sal. Sal's coming back. I haven't seen Sal since the Podcast that we did last January. That was the last time me and him were together in person. So we are doing every Arrow season review. So season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, plus a definitive series review at the end of it. So we're doing 9 weeks of that. I'm excited for those. We've already recorded the first one. It was very fun to get back on the podcast. Don't worry, we are safe during those episode reviews. We are safe. Don't worry about that. Plus, both of us are always wearing our protective devices, our masks, our bandanas. We're protected, so don't worry about that. So there's hopefully no COVID transmissions happening throughout these entire reviews. That we still have yet to record. We only recorded one. We're hopefully going to get more. At the time of this Save the Channel's filming, we've only recorded one. Hopefully, before we start the proper review series, we will at least have 3 in the can, because we want to make sure we have a few ready to go in case something happens, because again, in our lives, it is not always predictable that everything's going to work out fine. So at least having a few in the basket will have us guaranteed to make sure everything's safe. So every Arrow season reviewed, starting with season 1, will be beginning October 13th. So next week, stay tuned for that. That's going to be awesome. And then the other review series we're doing is every Doctor Who series review. I've talked about this for a long time in private and on camera. Doctor Who's been always that series that George has been making me want to get into for so many years. Since the very first year we became friends, he's always mentioned Doctor Who, Doctor Who, Doctor Who. It gets old after a while. But after many years of friendship, after many shows we shared together, it's time. It was finally time for me to, and plus it's on HBO Max, so that's fairly convenient. We are reviewing every single Doctor Who series possible. Now we're doing these in batches because if you're not a Doctor Who affiliate, there are currently now 12 completed Doctor Who series plus standalone specials. So there's a whole vast of things George had to explain to me, boiled it down, like this is how we could do it. And then I also took my schedule and so we are doing these in batches. So we're not doing a full proper all the way to the current run. We're not doing that in the first trimester. We're doing it in sections. So the first batch of it will be, we will be reviewing from the very first episode of Christopher Eccleston, the Ninth Doctor, all the way to the very end of David Tennant's run the 10th Doctor. So that's all we're reviewing. We're reviewing those. George, of course, will be my co-host on that. We've already recorded the first one. The energy that was popping on that first review was so magical, was so special. I can't wait for y'all to see it. That's going to be a bit of a weirder one to schedule out because it is where we're not reviewing a lot of it. We're reviewing a lot of it, but we're not reviewing a lot of it, if you know what I mean, in terms of like how many episodes and how many series we're going to cover. So with that being said, however, that will be coming out also on October 17th. So when October 17th or October 15th? It's either one of the, or it's either the 15th or the 17th. I believe I scheduled it for the 17th. I believe so. I could be wrong. I'll correct myself here in the text. So, or in the description below, you can check when we're starting those up. So that will be coming out too as well. However, we are not going to do a full, so on both season runs, we're not doing a full, like, from start to finish. Because again, time consistently. I've made it work out that like we've committed time to do these reviews. Me, Sal, and me and George, we've committed time to do these reviews. However, there will be moments where some stuff can happen and we are going to be not able to do our planned recording session. So while this is subject to change, we'll announce it on the actual reviews when the next one will hopefully be. But don't worry, these will all be done before the end of 2020. We're going to be doing a bunch of quick impressions in between. So whenever we're not on for a Arrow season review or a Doctor Who series review, we have fill-in quick impressions. So there's a lot of shows I've watched since the pandemic started that I haven't even gotten a chance to talk about because again, with the scheduling I had between March until August is when I did my last What's on the Tube run. That was very difficult for me to get to fit those in, and I didn't want to put 4 on the roster, so I'm like, I'll wait for them another time. So I'll be talking about those shows on the Quick Impressions run whenever we're not doing an Arrow or a Doctor Who review. So again, the scheduling will be a little bit all over the place, but when you watch the actual review series for either Arrow or Doctor Who or both, you'll be in the note on when there will be a Quick Impression to kind of like fill the gap while we are getting the next proper review for either Arrow or Doctor Who on the roll. So, yeah, so we have a plan. We have a plan in case we're not going to miss a week. We're going to the end of 2020 till the end of December. So it's going to be a fun 3 months. It's going to be fun. I can't wait to for you all to see the journeys we're about to start with both Arrow and Doctor Who, as well as I can't wait for you guys to see all the quick impressions we have in store for you, as well as I can't wait to actually start getting some filming going again because I miss being on camera. I miss talking to both Sal and George about something we're all passionate about. I can't wait to do those. Hopefully down the run we'll be able to do more of these. But right now Arrow and Doctor Who are the planned beginnings. This is at least to kind of keep things going until we come back next year. Hopefully, if nothing else happens with the world, with the proper, the next run of season episode reviews we're going to do, which we are doing. So the episode reviews will still be episode reviews, but in terms of internally, they'll be known. Those review series will be known by episodes. So we will be reviewing every episode of a season. So we're going more specific in them, if you know what I mean. They're still going to be solo by me. So nothing changes on that. I'll talk more about those in 2021, but for that, I believe that is it. So also one last thing, because I nearly forgot about this, but it just popped in my head. So I miss doing video games. I miss playing video games on camera. We used to do catch cameras on that. Still not returning yet again, as I said before on the top of this Slate of the channel. We are doing we're going back to Twitch streaming. So because again, since we are not doing a proper, there's no rookie or anything I need to do on the weekends in terms of like filming wise. Those are just happening whenever it's convenient. So I can't really plan out for that correctly, if you know what I mean. So I'm doing more Twitch streaming. So our Twitch channel is twitch.tv/ActionX Games. We'll be streaming every weekend, either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, whenever I am available. It will be one of those days. It will either be once or twice a weekend. I know that's a very inconvenient time slot, since I know everyone streams on the weekends, but I really just want to play games again. I want to play games on camera. Again, I think I've already done a couple test streams before this is coming out, and who knows, maybe some of those streams will become proper video someday if they're really good enough. So check those out. Those are on the bandwagon there. I can't wait to get started on that, or just to keep playing. It's not even that hard. I'm gonna improve my streaming game as I keep going on. You want to see us improve as time. Jump in. Can't wait to get started on that. But yeah, so that's basically all you need to know. What's on the Tube will be back next week with 2 new review series, quick impressions to follow soon. You'll start to see our older videos kind of rechange the names to reflect our current direction on the What's in the Tube front. That will be the only content we're producing throughout the rest of 2020. Everything else will be saved for hopefully sometime next year. So don't expect any of our other shows to return until then. Follow us on Twitch to be up to date. Maybe I'll get some guests on there. Who knows? It depends on how the connection works and how I'm able to make it work. So stay tuned on that. And yeah, I think that's going to do it for me. So if you're unaware, this has been a Slate of the Channel from ActionX. If you want to know what we're doing, if you want to stay up to date, please subscribe to the channel. Please ring the bell for notification when we have our next video live. Follow us on social media to be up to date, including follow us on our Twitch channel. Like, favorite, share if you want to. It does help us out. And yeah, I can't wait to get started on I can't wait for y'all to see our Arrow and Doctor Who runs. That's going to be very fun. Those weeks are going to be fun. A lot of work for me, but I enjoy it, and I can't wait to get started on that. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. Remember, check out the 10th anniversary trailer. That was a lot of fun to make. And I'll see you guys fairly soon. Again, thank you for the support. Peace out.